Hey, you. Are you looking for NBA, NFL, college football content? If the answer is yes to that, hit that subscribe button and make sure those notifications are turned on because the Chat Sports team, we're going to make sure you guys never miss anything. And we're an interactive show. So seriously, hit that subs button. Smell that? Preseason football is back, and I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care what it is. I am all for it. So coming up here on today's show, I figured I'd do some winners and some losers from the NFL preseason action on Saturday. Now, there's going to be a lot more winners. There's going to be a lot more losers, so please do not be shy. Let me know some of the guys that I missed down in the comments. So what I figured I would do, though, is give you my 5 biggest winners, my 5 biggest losers. I'm a glass half full type of dude, so let's go winners first. And coming in is quarterback Patrick Mahomes. I get what the preseason is. I think he's ready, and I don't know how much he missed this Tyreek Hill. I mean, he was unbelievable in this game. 12 and 19. 162 yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm going to tip my cap to Mahomes. I'm going to tip my cap to Andy Reid because I'm a believer, just like any sport, the more reps that you get, the better that you're going to be. And sure, there is always a risk of injury, but that's football. You're going to get hurt sometimes. Mahomes looks great. And I was going to also put in Josh Allen because Allen went 3 of 3 for 45 yards and a touchdown. And the throws that he was making, it's just why I believe after watching that AFC Championship game last season, or the game before the AFC Championship game, where it was Mahomes against Allen, these are the 2 best quarterbacks in the league. These 2 guys can do things that nobody else can. But here's my question to you. Who's the better one? You think it's Mahomes, type 15, or you think it's Josh Allen, type 17? We're going to stick here at the quarterback room because that's where a lot of the concentration is on the preseason. Ben Roethlisberger, he hung up the cleats. He decided to retire from the NFL. And right now there's a nice little 3-way battle going on in Pittsburgh between Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett. Trubisky, 5 of 8 for 60 yards. Looked pretty good. Mason Rudolph, 17 to 21. 127 yards, touchdown, and no interceptions. The rookie, the only quarterback drafted in round 1, Kenny Pickett, 6 of 7, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Personally, I think Trubisky and Pickett are your top 2 quarterbacks. Mason Rudolph is probably just a little bit of trade bait. But if you're Steelers, you got to be feeling pretty good, though the running game was a bit of an issue in this game. Let's go to my next preseason winner. This one isn't that much of a big-time name. But when you think about it, roster cuts are coming up. Teams got to go from 85 down to 80 by Tuesday. And then the following week, you got to go from 80 all the way down to 53. For a player like Erik Ezukanma, who's coming out of Texas Tech, young receiver, on a team that's got tons, and I mean tons of wide receiver talent, big-time games and opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. So in this game up against the Raiders, they had no answers for him. He was targeted 9 times. He had 6 catches, 114 yards. Sure, he didn't get in the end zone, but he averaged 19 yards per catch. He was unguardable. He had a one-handed catch. All I'm saying is this. If you're a Dolphins fan, Skylar Thompson had a nice little connection with him, and if it really comes down to the nitty-gritty, Erik Ezukanma is a name to keep in mind. Let's go to the next winner here, and he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. This young man is electric, and sure, he's got some bad off-the-field issues, but MVP of the USFL, and he came in for Dallas in this game. And if you're like, man, I missed his 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Luckily for you, he also had an 86-yard punt return. He was fun to watch. There are a few people who, when they move, you're like, that guy doesn't move like a regular human being. When I think of dudes like that, I think of like a Tyreek Hill, like a Devin Hester, like a Barry Sanders, where their hips start going. You're like, I don't know if I'm watching Shakira or an NFL player because those hips don't lie. And KaVontae Turpin's hips, they were juking, they were jiving, and he was making his way all the way down to the end zone. Very, very impressive special teams player. Let's go to the next winner here. I'm going to go with Duke Johnson because Duke has always been one of my favorite players since he came out of college, out of Miami. Actually, still the all-time leading rusher there for the U. But Duke has bounced around, whether that's been for the Houston Texans, the Cleveland Browns, last season with the Miami Dolphins. Now he's got a brand new home with the Buffalo Bills, and there is a lot of talent there in that backfield, whether it be, the rookie James Cook, you got the Devin Singletary, Now you got Duke Johnson. He looked pretty good yesterday. He didn't catch the football, which personally has always been his best ability. But if he can come out and establish that he can be a reliable running back for the Bills offense that realistically has lacked a reliable back for the past few seasons, 9 carries, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns, he averaged 6.1 yards per carry. He looked like a hell of a running back. And if you can add another option to Josh Allen in this offense, good luck, defensive coordinators against Buffalo. Now, those were my 5 biggest winners. And again, these shows are always like, I want to hear what you guys have to say. The reason why I love Chat Sports, and one of the reasons why I wanted to work here, when I go all the way back in my time machine in 2017, I was like, dude, this show reminds me of my family and I at my family reunions, at Christmas, Thanksgiving, chopping them up, talking sports. Here's your opportunity. Join the Chat Sports family. Let me know a preseason winner from Saturday. When you got winners, it's also then time to talk about the losers. And I'll get into my 5 biggest losers. We're not talking about weight here. Coming up here in just a second. But before I do, if you plan on betting on the NFL, college football, NBA, whatever it is, there is one place to do it and one place only. That is BetUS, the #1 sports book out there. And we have the best betting deal in the entire world. If you don't believe me, I challenge you to find a better one. What's the deal? If you go to chatsports.com/bet, friendly reminder, the only way you will get this deal is if you go to chatsports.com/bet. You got to use promo code NFL Daily when you sign up and deposit at least $100. We're going to give you $125 for free to bet with. So if you put down $200, you get $250 for free to bet with. You can actually put down up to $500, get $625 for free to bet with. I don't know about you. Sounds like a pretty damn good deal to me. Shout out to BetUS. All right, y'all, so now get into my Saturday preseason losers. We got producer Patrick Seatman, big-time Vikings fan, so this one's going to sting a little bit. Kellen Mond, and I can remember when everyone was in my DM saying, hey, Kellen Mond, is he going to be a good NFL quarterback? I said no, and everyone, you're not giving him a good chance. Sorry. I will remain on the hill that Mond will never be a good NFL quarterback. Good college quarterback. He just doesn't have the passing ability. And after having a halfway decent game, I'd say against the Raiders in their first preseason game, he comes back against San Francisco, 10-20, 82 yards, 2 interceptions. Yeah, you remember when I said at the beginning of the show, you smell that? Might have just been Kellen Mond. Let's go to Alex Leatherwood here. He's the next loser. And when the Raiders drafted him, number 17 overall, the hope was that he could be the starting right tackle. John Gruden, Mike Mayock, that regime didn't quite work out. So now you bring in a brand new regime with Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, brand new offensive line coach, and Carmen Brasillo. And the hope is, can Leatherwood make it happen? Still sounds like that is a big old fat no, because this young man was bad. And I'm talking all caps, B-A-D, in their past preseason game against the Miami Dolphins. He got benched in the first half. He did return in the third quarter, but in 23 snaps, he allowed a sack, a hit, in a hurry, and realistically, I think it looked like Jarrett Stidham, Nick Mullins, Chase Garbers couldn't hurry to get off the field quick enough because they know that Alex Leatherwood is an absolute hazard at this point at right tackle. Now, if I got any other Raider fans out there, shout out to all of y'all. I know, very dedicated, and I am too. If you want even more exclusive Raiders content from me, you can actually get it over on Local, so you can scan that QR code right there, or go to the link that you see below, RaidersReport.locals.com. If you want just even more content in general from amazing content creators, you can also check us out at Locals.com. And what do I mean by that? Coolest part about Locals is they let people like myself and other content creators be them. You're not going to get blocked. You can say what you want. You can do what you want. Personally, for me, I think that's the way content should be. But if you want to also see a Raiders player, he's a running back that I actually think is on the trade block, hey, go ahead, check it out. All right, let's go to the next preseason Saturday loser, Antonio Gibson. And this is one of those where I wish I could be looking at my Uncle Steve right now and say, nana boo-boo, or whatever the heck that whole thing is. I was right, you were wrong. Because he's got Antonio Gibson in a fantasy league. And I was like, that's not going to be a good pick because he's got bad ball security. And he's falling down that team depth chart. Don't believe me? He saw only 2 carries and had 3 yards. Yes, he did get 3 grabs for 37, but during practice, during warm-ups, you don't usually see your starting running back doing things with special teams. You know how I know he's falling down the depth chart? Because he's working with special teams. For that reason, that makes him a loser. Let's go to the next Saturday preseason loser, and this one could technically be a loser/winner. Kyle Trask, filling in for Tampa Bay, filling in for Tom Brady whenever the heck he decides to come back. It does sound like he's going to be back next week, so maybe I should make Buccaneers fans a winner because Kyle Trask was hard to watch. And what I always think of when I think of hard to watch, my go-to saying is, it's like watching Grandma get out of the tub. To be honest, I might rather watch that than watch Kyle Trask highlight film against the Tennessee Titans because this man right here was 11 of 24, 105 yards, no touchdowns, had an interception. He did fumble the ball twice. I don't believe he lost any of those fumbles, but either way, you're putting the ball on the ground twice. There could have been an opportunity where he had 3 turnovers. Luckily, Tom Brady must have just lost on the Masked Singer because it sounds like he's going to be coming back next week. Let's go to the next loser here. We're going to stick with the offensive side of the football. Alexander Mattison. And I do think sometimes when you do this extra analysis on some of these players and some of these situations, you don't necessarily have to play bad to be a loser. I like Mattison. He's a good running back, and he's been a good running back since he came out of Boise State. However, he fits the Mike Zimmer backup running back role a lot better than what he's being currently used at now. Because personally, I think Ty Chandler, who they drafted in the 5th round, better pass catcher, better pass blocker. He's got an upper hand. He also got a touchdown. And then Kenny Nwanu, probably a better fit overall in the entire Vikings offense. So you know Dalvin's the number one. If I'm sitting up here saying Ty Chandler and Kenny, they're the next guys, what does that mean for Mattison? I think it means that he could potentially be on the trade block. Now, those are some of my preseason losers from our Saturday game. If you guys want to let me know who you also have in there, please don't be shy. We're always down to see what you have to say. I'm going to be back here live tomorrow on NFL Daily. We're also going to have a video coming out for you bright and early at 11 a.m. Some NFL coaches on the hot seat, so please stay tuned for that. But if you want to stay in the know, hit that subscribe button. And again, I will be live tomorrow here on NFL Daily starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Central. Yeah, that's where we're going to go. So until then, I'll see you.